welcome. My name is Gail Moffat, and so we're going to have a couple of callers call in, and also I'm going to sort of do a little bit of a spiritual talk. But I always look forward to doing a reading for our callers that call in. It's always nice to do. So what was I going to talk about today? I always check in with my guides and see what inspires me. And today I'm inspired to talk to you about the angelic realm. And one of the guides that work with me on my healing is Archangel Raphael. And he is he's probably considered one of the excellent angels for healing. And he, so he's, and I also, there's always a sort of a green sort of energy around him. And when you think about it, green comes from the heart chakra. And that green energy is from the heart chakra is probably one of the most important energies, because, our hearts are supposed to be where we operate from. If we all were to operate from our hearts, then life would be in our world so very, very different. But anyway, so there's Archangel Raphael, and he comes from a group of angels called the archangels, and each one of them will have a specific role and a different sort of job. For instance, Michael is more of a protector and somebody who's very strong. And when he comes close to me, I always see him with his sword and also like that sort of chest plate that you see on sort of medieval sort of warriors that I often see. Is it called the ring chain link or chain link? That's it. I quite often see him wearing that. And he's also got quite longish sort of hair. But I don't see that with Raphael. He has sort of shorter hair, which is quite interesting. But one of the angels I think is really interesting is the seraphims. And the seraphims, their job is to be very close to God, and they follow God wherever he is. And whenever there's a job to do, they're at hand, I guess. And so the seraphims are very, very close to God, and so they are quite important angels. The other thing I've been told about the angelic realm, which I think is interesting, is that with the angels, they have abilities that man doesn't have. And so, with this show that, if you've been following this show for some time, or not just this show, but A1R Radio, you will sort of see that, we have our guides, and sometimes there are people that are mediums and they will connect to loved ones. So we know that there is a spirit world. And so the people that we know that I'm using man as a generic term, sort of, I'm not being sexist in any way. It's just a sort of an overarching sort of term. And man does not have the abilities that angels do, particularly on a healing point of view, which I think is quite sort of interesting, sort of that how much they can do that man can't. Which being not an angel myself is quite disappointing. Well, not disappointing, because we all have our qualities and our abilities. But so I just wanted to say sort of a little quick sort of whistle-stop tour of the angelic realm. Before I leave the angels, there's obviously the cherubims, and you see the cherubims have unique qualities that the archangels don't, or the seraphims don't, and so it's they all have their sort of their role that is needed for us. One of the things that I've been repeatedly told is that we have to ask if we want help. And, sometimes they're standing by and they're really wanting to help you, really wanting to sort of, particularly when you're going through a difficult time. But sometimes we forget to ask. But if we ask, the angels or God or anyone in spirit, then in other words, they have your permission to help. And that's what's really important. You need to give the angelic realm and others permission to do the work that they are very, very capable of doing. Obviously, it all depends on having that permission from God, but if they are able to do it, they will. But we need to just ask, and it will be given, hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm going to go to a caller and see do a reading now. And I believe that Nell in Nashville, Tennessee, is there. Are you there, Nell?
Hi, I am. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the show. Have you ever had a reading before?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Oh, so you're an expert at this, are you? Good.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I'm thankful to be here.
Right. Well, I am a medium. Now, what that means is that I'm able to connect to loved ones in spirit. But I also can go to my guides or loved ones connected to you that can give you guidance over a particular area. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work, and where would you like me to focus?
I am open to your suggestions.
Okay, right, let's see. I feel like there's a gentleman in spirit, and I feel that this is a grandfather that is coming forward. And I feel very congested around the mouth and the lungs. And I feel sort of like there is something, there's energy that is significant around that area. Does that make sense to you?
Maybe so. I have been told that I have a grandfather that's with me from my dad's side.
Right. Okay. I'm I've. But do you know how he passed, or what was wrong
No,
with him?
ma'am, I don't.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Well, I'll just carry on and see what he has to say. He's saying to me that he's very excited today because he feels that this is almost like a more it's a he feels like it's an opportunity for him to come forward and really, really introduce himself to you, because he says that there was I feel like there's some sort of difficulty, and I'm drawn to your mother rather than your father. But I don't know what. Sometimes they draw me to the mother when they are the father's father. So it doesn't always follow that it's on the mother's side. But he is drawing me to your mother, and he's saying to me, I feel like there's some sort of difficulty with your grandfather and the mother. Does that make sense to you?
No, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Did you know your grandfather on your mother's side?
So my mom was adopted. I know my adopted grandfather, yes, but not my real grandfather.
This is your real grandfather that I've got, because he's saying, because I heard the words abandoned at birth. Does that make sense to you? I don't know whether it was at birth, but I heard abandoned. So this is your real grandfather on your mother's side that is coming through. And
that's amazing.
and he, yeah, and he's, and I can tell you he's extremely emotional with me, and and I can see his eyes, and I can see tears welling up in his eyes, and the tears rolling down his cheek. He is incredibly emotional about this, and he has been waiting for this moment for such a long time, and has hoped and prayed that you would go to eventually go to somebody that can be do mediumship and connect for him. Because I feel that in the past, you've spoken to people that are perhaps more proficient on the psychic level and not so much on the mediumistic level. Does that make sense
Yes,
to you?
ma'am. Agree. It does. Yes, ma'am.
And so this is why he's so excited, because this is his first opportunity. And let me tell you, he was not going to miss this opportunity. And he wants to explain himself. And he says that he feels that it's really, really important to explain himself. Because although your mother was adopted, he's saying that that there are records pertaining to the real parents, and he's saying that if you were to explore, the it's almost like he's encouraging you to do some sort of genealogy.
Okay.
If you go on to like ancestry.com or one of those sites, but he's making me feel as though he would help you and guide you to understand the family that you have come from. He's saying that it's really important that you know your ancestry, because he says there's a lot to be revealed and a lot for you to know. And he's saying to me that you would be wowed if you understood exactly your heritage and where you've come from. Because it's almost like you oh no, this is interesting. He's saying to me that there are relatives that are linked to you and to your mother, that you could be in contact with, that you don't know about. And he's saying to me that there's times I feel like I want to weep, and he's saying to me, I could weep. Now, why is he saying this? He's saying this because he says there's been many times when I feel either your mother or yourself or members of your family have felt lost and have felt as though there hasn't been the support and that they would have liked to have had around them. And he's saying to me that if only you had known some of your other relatives that are so close to you. He's using that word close to you. And I don't know whether they're close to you in their DNA or close to you geographically. So I don't know which one he's referring to. But what he's saying to me, he's saying geographically, you've got relatives almost, I feel like it's almost in the same street, in the same vicinity, in the same town, that you are unaware of. And this is why he's really encouraging you and your family to explore this, because he feels that once you are enlightened to your heritage and where you come from, he feels that then and only then can he come forward in more detail and assist you in your life. Because he's saying to me that moving forward, he says that there is going to be a lot that is going to be happening in your life, that in a way he's saying that you would benefit from his assistance, because he's saying that he has the skill set and the knowledge and the competency to help you with what is going to happen in your life moving forward. But it's almost as though he needs you to understand who he is, so that you can be of benefit. You can have the benefit of his expertise, because I do feel, and I feel this very strongly, that this person is quite almost like I feel like there's an air of sophistication, an air of competency, and I also feel like there's some medical knowledge with this man as well. I don't know whether he was a doctor, but I feel medically inclined with him. Like I feel like I could. I feel like he was a surgeon. I'm taking it to a different step. He was a surgeon, and I feel like he understands a lot of medical. He has a deep medical knowledge, and I feel like that there is. I almost feel like he wants to give you his knowledge. It's like he wants to guide you and share his knowledge with you, because he's saying to me that you've been contemplating life and thinking about life, and I feel like you want to go in sort of like a almost like a explore knowledge. I feel like it's knowledge with you, and I feel like he wants to share his medical knowledge with you. And if you decide to go down this path where you explore more things on a medical basis, then I feel that he will be standing by your side and guiding you. And I feel like this is a plan from God, from Spirit, that this is going to happen, that you are going to have this grandfather who's medically trained, has a deep understanding of medicine and health, and that is going to be with you in your life. Oh, there we go. How does that sound?
So amazing. It sounds really awesome, and I'm so excited to figure this out.
I've got another caller waiting, but just before I go to the other caller, can you tell me, are you contemplating exploring medicine in any way, or any health or something like that?
So I have been certified in Reiki 1 and 2. I've been, since November, I've been working a lot with that and learning about crystals and healing and things like that. Yes.
Brilliant. And I also feel like you're going to go on and do further study, like further, you've got an inquiring mind, and I feel like you're not going to step there. I also want to go and say that you've got healing hands, and I feel like this is the reason why he's going to come forward, and he's going to be your guide as your healer. Right.
That sounds so amazing.
How exciting. My name is Gail Moffat. Find me on Facebook. I've got to go because I've got somebody patiently waiting to speak to me, but it's been great speaking to you. Thank you, Nell. Okay, right. So let's go to Claudette in Shelburne, Ontario, Canada. Are you there, Claudette?
Yes, I am, Gail. How are you?
I'm very well, and how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. And I am a medium, so I can connect to loved ones, or I can focus on an aspect of your life and give you guidance. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work?
If you can just reach out, like spirit, I guess.
So is that basically you want guidance? Is that what you're saying, or do you want me to connect to somebody?
To connect to somebody.
Right, we've got about 8 minutes left. Who would you like me to contact, and I'll see if I can get them. And obviously, I will look to give you some evidence.
My mother.
You know, I knew it was your mum. As soon as I asked, I thought it's her mother. Right. Okay. Right. Let's see where we're going with this. Your mum is, I feel, was in her day, and probably till the end as well. But I feel like is a very attractive, stunning woman, and I feel that she was. I feel like there's a real elegance with her, and I feel like I want to sort of dress in a certain sort of sophisticated manner. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
She's lovely, and I feel like she's got this really. she's smiling, and she's got this. Well, in England, we call a purse is the wallet, and you call the purse the handbag, which we call. It gets all very confusing, but anyway, the wallet.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it. We'll call it the wallet. See, in England, we can't speak properly, so
Yeah, that's okay.
but you know, we'll get the gist. But I feel with
Yeah.
this wallet, I just want to open it up, and I feel like I want to pick out a coin, and I want to give it to you. And I feel like I feel like this is an analogy for the sort of character that she was. I feel like she would give her. There was an advert on the television for years and years in England, and it was with these chocolates, and you could buy Rolos, and the saying was, "Would you give somebody your last Rolo?" And and I feel like this applies here. Like, would you give? She would give,
Yes.
almost like the shirt off her back to help somebody
Yes, she
else.
would. Yes.
She was
Yes,
just
for sure.
an absolutely adorable person. I do feel with her that I feel like there's a real sadness over her passing. And obviously, every passing is sad. But I feel that there's something really particular about her passing, because I feel she's telling me that she wasn't meant to go. I feel like there's something that happened. But I feel like there's a health issue, but also I feel like there's some sort of almost like a misdiagnosis or an accident or something like that. Does that make sense to you?
She was taken with a massive heart attack. Like, it was unexpected.
Right. Okay. Because she's. I feel, maybe that's where I'm getting it from. It's like it's the unexpected, because I just feel like she keeps on saying to me that I wasn't meant to go. This shouldn't have happened. And she's making me feel like it's almost like it's before her time. Now, when spirits say that to me, that can either mean that she was still quite young, or not in her 80s and 90s, or whether.
No.
Or whether there was something else at play here, but I just feel that she feels a bit sort of perturbed that she had to go so quickly, and I feel like and I feel like has there been some children or a pregnancy or a baby born since she's passed?
Yes.
Yeah,
There was a baby born right after she passed. Yes.
right, because she's talking, and I've got all tingly as I'm saying that, because she's telling me that she was there at the birth, and she wouldn't have missed it, and she wants you to know this because she feels it's important that the family know this, that she is still there in your life, and I feel like also. Have there been some difficulties with money with yourself at the moment?
Yes.
Because she's showing me you counting sort of like what we would call the pennies, but it's probably the cents in Canada. But she's shown me like you're really counting and trying to preserve and be careful. And she's aware of this, and and I feel that she would have been the sort of person that she would have helped you out if she was alive, and she would have perhaps given you some money at this time. Would that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
And she's sort of really, and I feel like there's this real frustration that she can't do that at the moment. But she wants you to know that she's I feel very strongly that she's very close with you, and she's taking me
I
in.
feel it.
Yeah, she's around you, because I also feel like you've been talking out to her, sort of almost like, "Mom, what, can you help me? I need the help." And I feel like there's been that sort of dialogue coming from you. Would that make sense?
Yes. Yes, it
And
does.
she and she's showing me a photograph, and I feel like it's a photograph on the side, and it's fallen over. Has that happened with you? Because if it has, she's telling me that she's done it.
Yeah. She does a lot, I think.
Yeah, she's making me feel like she moves things. She wants to make her presence known to you and let you know that she's in your life. She's I also feel like I feel like there's some dilemmas going on in your mind, and she's making me aware of these dilemmas, and she's saying to me that uh, have you got a child? I feel like it's a child
Yes,
of yours. And I feel like you've got some dilemmas over your child, like what to do about a certain situation, and it's been plaguing your mind lately. Sort of, what can I do? How can I deal with this?
That is true.
And so your mum, because she's so close with you, she's aware of this difficulty that you're having, and she's saying to me that she's saying to me that she's going to give you the answer. It's like she's going to inspire you and help you take the right direction, because she's letting me know that it's almost like she's going to give you signs, and she's very, very strong with you, very, very strong. And I feel like there's going to be signs, and that you've got to look out for these signs, because these signs are going to give you the guidance to walk forward with this dilemma and this problem that you've got. How does that sound? This is I feel like this is an exciting time as well, because I just want to let you know that your mother has made a decision that she is going to be strong and constantly with you from now on. So thank you for phoning in, and thank you everybody for listening. You can find me on Facebook. My name is Gail Moffat, and see you next week. Goodbye.